Cameron Gray, I love Kurt Schlichter's tree there. Kurt with BigHollywood.com. Welcome to Cam and Company, and we love your tree. It looks very festive.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to be the last segment of the human centipede that is Cam and Company.
Thank you. I'll be living with that image all night long. Thank you.
3 seconds in, a human centipede.
It's usually for the worst.
Kurt, I cannot tell you how happy I am that the show is over this week, but I've been looking forward to having you as our last guest because you are definitely one of the best guests here on Cam and Company. You definitely tell it like it is. Your opinions are phenomenal. Let's just start with the race right now. Let's just start with the election. I follow your Twitter account, of course. You've definitely got some opinions on the state of the race right now. I started the show tonight very nervous about this field. I find that every one of them has big flaws. Every one of them, you are on Twitter, a lot too. You see what people say. You see what people think. You see the vitriol against most of them. And I was telling John earlier, you certainly don't see the, man, I love me some Mitt Romney or Gingrich forever. All you see is trashing of these people. Yes, I would hope and I would imagine that they will be coalescing around the eventual nominee and putting whoever that person is against Barack Obama, whoever it is will be a better president. But when you just see what's going on online amongst these different candidates, what's your thought?
Well, the way I think of it is I want to figure out who I dislike, who I like the least, the most, and then I want to vote for the other guy.
Okay, so who is that person right now on December 22nd?
Oh, God, it switches around, and I'm going to lose like 50 friends no matter what I say. Although I do want to lose all the Ron Paul guys.
Okay.
I do. I can't get behind the whole anti-Israel thing.
Uh-huh.
There's just some lines you can't cross.
Okay.
Yeah, he's right on guns. So is everybody else. I even think Mitt is. Even Mitt's not dumb enough to cross us. Or is he?
I don't know. So you're going back and forth, but you do agree with the central tenet that no matter who it is, it'll be a better person than Barack Obama.
My terrier would be a better president than the president.
And you hate your terrier.
I've got a very stupid terrier. And he's kind of moderate. I mean, he's not a lib, but, he's not really on board with, supply side economics either.
But he's pro-gun.
Oh, God, yes. He's smaller than most of my arsenal. This is not a big dog.
All right, so we have debate overload. We have the Iowa caucuses coming up. We have the New Hampshire primary coming up.
And Iowa caucuses, yay!
Not a fan, Kurt?
100,000 farmers with nothing better to do than argue in a high school gym about which loser they're going to support.
Kurt, I love you like a brother, man, but I got to say, I've been to a caucus. I went 4 years ago. It's fascinating. It's
really? I'm from California. We just have, the first syllable.
Oh, wow.
You got both Cameron Gray
and I do without saying it.
Exactly. Just
That's
implied.
The service I provide you.
But Kurt, I mean, there's something amazing about watching as retail politics get. Yes, I'm not going to call them loser farmers. I'll let you stick. You can call them that. But it's involved, passionate citizens who go into a room and they go into their little groups of who their candidate is, and they swap back and forth. And they say, my guy's better, your guy's worse. I think it's fascinating.
Well, first of all, I want to defend farmers. I would myself be a farmer if the army hadn't taken my land.
Okay.
And thrown us in a city. But beyond that, no, I think you're absolutely right, because there is something special about Americans getting out there and getting one-on-one in the face of their politicians. Even the gay gentleman who had issue with Newt Gingrich. Mm-hmm. I like that. Mm-hmm. I like Newt Gingrich having to, the guy has a point of view. Explain yourself, Newt. If you fold like a house of cards, maybe you're not the guy we want as the president.
Well, and to Newt Gingrich's credit, said, listen, I'm probably not your guy. Vote for Obama. God, why not say that?
And everybody's spinning it like, oh, we don't want gay people to vote for him. No, he just said, that's the most important thing to you. Don't vote for me. It seems pretty logical to me. Look, if you hate guns and think that Americans should be disarmed sheep, you clearly should be voting for Barack Obama.
Well,
you should.
Well, and the other thing, and we talked about this earlier, when we talk about Gingrich and Romney, I'm very disappointed in the fact that Mitt Romney said no to Newt Gingrich's invitation to debate, because I think if you can't debate Newt Gingrich, how are you going to possibly debate President Obama?
Well, I kind of understand on the human edge, because I don't think I'd want to sit and listen to Newt Gingrich for 3 hours.
Right.
Okay, that's self-preservation.
Okay, fair enough. All right, let's get away from politics for a minute. Right there in the city of Angels, where you reside, Kurt, and where you run roughshod over liberals all throughout the valley, there's a story in the LA Times getting a lot of play, and on Reason.com they did a story about it called "A Black Market in Cheetos in LA Schools."
Oh my God! I need to take a drink because you're talking about it.
It's a story about, this is by Catherine Mangu Ward. This story is about the spectacular failure of new, healthier school lunches from the LA Times that is getting a lot of play. As you might expect, but the school district apparently didn't. 16-year-olds who have previously been on all pizza diets aren't necessarily going to dive right into heaping helpings of quinoa? What's a quinoa salad? I don't even know what the hell that is.
It sounds like a skin condition.
So heaping helpings of skin condition. From the article, many of the meals are being rejected en masse. Participation in the school lunch program has dropped by thousands of students. Principals report massive waste, with unopened milk cartons and uneaten entrees being thrown away. Give that to the occupiers. Students are ditching
the power.
Students are ditching lunch, and some say they're suffering from headaches, stomach pains, and even anemia. At many campuses, an underground market for chips, candy, fast food burgers, and other taboo fare is thriving. The two people.
I can see some dude lurking in the bathroom going, "Dude, want to hit off my Big Mac?"
Two of the students quoted.
Don't bogart those Cheetos.
Two of the students quoted say they don't even bother to line up for lunch. One said the school food previously made her throw up, and another calls it nasty, rotten stuff. So what?
I'm glad. Look, I'm glad that the young people today are standing up to these petty fascists. To paraphrase our founding fathers, sometimes the tree of liberty needs to be watered with whole grain organic skim milk and tofu in its own goo.
Or quinoa salad, whatever quinoa is.
If somebody tried to shove quinoa down my pie hole, I'd get a fistful of knuckles.
Okay, so they asked what the students eat. The two juniors pulled out 3 bags of flamin' hot Cheetos and soda from their backpacks. This is our daily lunch. We're eating more junk food now than last year.
Yeah, Republicans. These are future conservatives. Who the hell are these idiots at the school who can't even teach these kids to read? They can't even do the job we pay them to do.
Right.
And now they're out there being nutritionists.
What?
Look, here's a newsflash. We don't want to eat your crap. All right? We'll eat what we want. We'll do what we want. We'll say what we want. So why don't you goose step yourself back into in front of your union steward and start trying to figure out how you can weasel out some more in-service days so you don't actually have to do anything to get your inflated salaries, you social parasites.
Kurt, it's the end of 2011. It's about to be 2012. There are legitimate news stories about children talking about an underground market for chips, candy, fast food burgers, and other taboo fare, and we're talking about hoarding light bulbs. I mean, what in the world is going on?
I don't know. I think I like these kids because they're teaching us an important lesson. When faced with these bureaucratic, petty fascists, the proper response is mockery and resistance. When some loser at the DMV starts giving you a hard time, hey, let me explain the chain of command. Me, government worker. All right, that's how it goes. They work for me. I don't work for them. Stop telling me how to live my life. I'm a grown man. I've somehow managed to live 47 years without your freaking loving care and guidance.
Kurt, are you telling me that LA County, whatever they call them out in California, Unified School District, I think, are you telling me that they're poor students?
Oh, my God. These guys not only can't read when they get out of school, they're not even sure what letters are.
What, do they need, like, pictures?
What's this pencil thing? LAUSD is a disaster of unbelievable proportions. This city is absolute, and its liberal administration, dominated by unions, especially the teacher union, is doing more damage to our poor and minority kids than the KKK could ever do in its wildest, most feverish fantasies. Wow. It's disgusting, and we're laughing about it, but there's a real serious problem here. We're shortchanging a generation of kids because they're being used as political pawns to make sure that one thing and one thing only happens, that the public employee feed trough is filled to overflowing, and they get the quinoa scraps.
All right, we only have a minute and a half left here, and I want to make sure we talk about this story because I actually love this every year. I'm a big fan of the Rose Parade. I think it's a cool tradition. I love watching on TV every year. But there in the LA Times, Occupy protesters take aim at Rose Parade. Oh. Pasadena police and Tournament of Roses officials have been negotiating with Occupy leaders for several weeks to prevent problems. Pretty much what's going to happen is, in exchange for not causing a scene during the parade, they're going to let them march afterwards, behind all the floats.
For people to, in exchange for them not causing me problems, I don't kick their butts.
But you're gonna miss the You're gonna miss the octopus made out of recycled bags, stretching 40 feet from tentacle to tentacle, and designed to represent the stranglehold that Wall Street has on the political process.
Look, I like giant octopuses as much as the next guy. I'm only human. But, you know, someone brings out some creepy modern art cephalopod to disrupt my assembly. I'm going to go to town on him with my boot.
So, Kurt, as we started the interview, we can wrap up the interview. Would you say that the Occupy the Rose Parade March will be the literal human centipede?
Why, thank you. There's an image that'll haunt all our nightmares. What better way to say Merry Christmas than a human centipede reference?
What a perfect way to start and end an interview. Kurt Schlichter, you're the best. Merry Christmas, and we will definitely talk to you in the new year.
Wow.
Adios, gentlemen.
Thank you, Kurt.
Bye, Kurt.
Wow.